Welcome to the Pixels and Projects podcast.
Jody, here's something to think about right off the bat. A Gallup study from 2023 found that 41% of remote managers are struggling to keep their teams engaged while also tracking performance. 41%. That's, almost half of all remote leaders out there. And it raises, a pretty big question for anyone managing virtual teams.
What a stat. How do you even begin to tackle that? And I mean, we've all felt this trying to keep a team cohesive when they're spread across, multiple time zones and who knows how many projects.
Exactly. It's not just the sheer complexity of remote work. It's also the systems, or honestly, the lack of systems, that a lot of leaders are working with. Let's put some numbers behind that. Take McKinsey's 2023 remote work report. Teams with clear KPIs, they're 3.2 times more productive in virtual settings. That's not guesswork. That's hard data.
Oh, I know. And let me tell you, from experience, not having those clear goals can spiral into a hot mess real quick.
Yeah, you've got one of your famous project stories for this?
Absolutely. So, my first big remote project, back when I was still figuring all this out and offshore resourcing became the big thing, we didn't have any objectives set up at all. No KPIs, no OKRs, just lots of meetings where, honestly, no one knew what we were tracking. And you can just guess how that worked out.
Not well, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, it was a train wreck. Missed deadlines, folks putting in way more hours than needed, and a ton of confusion. It was clear we needed to decide what success actually looked like. When we did, things started turning around.
And that's really the crux of it, isn't it? Without clear performance metrics, you're leaving too much to chance, especially in remote setups. Teams thrive on clarity. They perform better, they're more engaged, and
they actually know if they're winning or not.
Exactly. And with platforms like Asana or Monday.com.
Oh, those are great tools.
Right? They let you not only set those clear objectives, but also make progress visible. It's not just theory, it's a system. And tools like these are what separate functional remote teams from, I guess we'd call them, dysfunctional ones.
Oh, yes. And look, if you're new to remote leadership, establishing those KPIs early on is like a game changer. Trust me on that one.
So, speaking of clarity and systems for remote teams, let's look at how a company like Automatic, the folks behind WordPress, approached this challenge. When they shifted to a fully remote setup, they implemented a results-only work environment. And get this, it didn't just work, it actually boosted their project completion rates by an impressive 32%. 32%.
No way. That is huge. But wait, how exactly does that work? Results only. What does that even mean in practice?
Essentially, the focus is on deliverables, not hours. Forget obsessing over who's clocking in at what time or how long they're online. It's all about what people actually produce. Now combine that mindset with McKinsey's data. Teams with clear KPIs are 3.2 times more productive remotely, and you've got a solid foundation.
And it sounds so obvious, doesn't it? Of course people need clear goals, but it's easy to just overlook it in the push to meet deadlines.
Exactly. And that oversight costs teams. Big time. Let's add another layer here. MIT research shows that remote teams with structured communication protocols are 55% more efficient. 55. That's not a small number.
And it's also why Teams, Slack, and tools like that are a game changer. You're going to laugh. But I remember this time when a team I worked with, we were drowning in communication chaos because we didn't have any protocols. It was like emails, texts, late night chats, total overload.
Oh, I've been there. It's a mess for sure.
Right? So we finally sat down and said, okay, what's for chat? What's for emails? What's urgent? And it was like flipping a switch. That clarity made everything easier and happier.
Yeah, clarity does that. And then there's the tech side of it. Deloitte's data shows teams using integrated collaboration tools, not just one-off systems, but full integration. They see engagement rates jump by 28%.
Oh, yeah. And you feel that energy shift too. People are just more plugged in. It's not just work, it's teamwork. Tools like that bring people together, literally.
That's right. You take clear KPIs, add structured communication, and then top it all off with the right technology.
Building on what you said about tech and clear goals, here's something else that blew my mind. Psychological safety makes remote teams 23% more innovative. Isn't that wild?
It is, but, it makes sense. When people feel safe to speak up, share ideas, or even, let's be honest, make mistakes, that's when the real progress happens. It's like a catalyst for innovation.
Totally. And it's not even like complicated to build, right? I've seen teams start with something as simple as anonymous feedback tools or even, casual team Slack channels where they can just be themselves.
Right. The little things go a long way. And adding to that, LinkedIn Learning found that remote learning opportunities can boost retention by 50%. It's the same idea, investing in people, giving them room to grow.
Yeah, I've got to share this one. I worked with a company rolling out monthly skill sharing sessions. Super simple stuff, right? Like, hey, show us your cool Excel tricks. And guess what? Their turnover went from sky high to nearly zero in under a year. I mean, zero.
That's incredible. And it's proof that these strategies don't have to be overly complex, they just have to be consistent, which I think brings us to the importance of having a roadmap.
Exactly. That 30-day roadmap, total game changer. Audit your team's current practices week 1, then build from there. Metrics, comms protocols, team building. You take it step by step and bam, you've got momentum.
And more than that, you've got a framework for success. Remote leadership isn't about fancy solutions or perfect execution every time. It's about clarity, structure, and ultimately trust. Trust in your team and trust in your systems.
Oh, I'm so with you on that. Trust really is the secret sauce, isn't it? When teams know their leaders believe in them, it's just, you can feel the difference. It's night and day.
And with that, I think we've laid out a solid playbook today. From performance metrics to team building and beyond, it's all about turning challenges into opportunities.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So, hey, if you're leading a remote team, or even just part of one, remember, it's not about perfect results from day one. It's about steady improvement.
Amen to that. And on that note, thanks for joining us on the Pixels and Projects podcast. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.